What's up, guys, and welcome back to the first video of this series. In this first video, we're going to just discuss some lifestyle changes that we can make in order to reduce that tightness or pain we're feeling in the low back. So the first thing we're going to do is come up onto our 2 feet and find a more supportive posture to hold throughout the day. The first thing we're going to do is bring a little bit of focus down to the feet. Yes, what's going on down at the feet can have an effect up the chain into your low back. So all we're going to do is make sure that second toe's pointing straight forward, that we got nice maintained arches, and then you're going to notice how narrow my stance is. We roughly like to stick around a fist width or closer, give or take just a little bit. Again, just avoiding some of the common patterns we see throughout the day with toes pointing out, collapsed arches, and hips forward. So the first thing you're going to do is just bring awareness into your standing posture, catch yourself throughout the day. Again, this isn't a right versus wrong thing. This is just some stuff we can do to possibly help make that back feel better. So we're going to bring the feet in, nice and straight, nice and narrow with those strong arches. The second part about the hips is going to be huge for the back. As we went over in that first video, the hips being stuck forward in this front chain position is a major culprit for why we're feeling a lot of tension and compression in that low back. So what we're going to do is simply get the hips to sit back behind our rib cage. Now, one of the first little awareness drills we can do for that is just simply putting the hands on our butt. Push the butt forward into that front chain space, and notice how your butt flesh is just kind of hanging out here. It's not really turned on. And now all I want you to do is push those hips and think of sitting the hips back. It's almost as if you're taking a bow, and feel now how we get a little bit of engagement and support. Again, the muscles of the lower half, the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads, our legs are there to not only move us, but they're there to support us in our standing posture. So we're really going to want to get the hips back. A couple mistakes we see when trying to do this is when people get the hips back, they start tilting their pelvis anteriorly and causing a little more compression. That's the last thing we want to do. So what you're going to notice is my hips are literally just going from this front space and sitting back into the back space, a little bit more engaged. I'm not tilting my pelvis at all. Now, for some reason, when you do get to this back space, you still are feeling a little bit of compression. I don't mind playing with just a little bit of a tuck to pull some of that compression out, but I want to avoid flat back, tucked spine. That's the main thing. Let's go over one more little drill to find that back space. I want you to find those creases on the front side into the groin, press your fingers into there, and just push the hips forward. Again, this is a lot of compression in the low back space. This is going to maybe cause some issues at the front of the hips as well. Feel how it's all stiff. Press into the fingers to push the hips back and start to find a little bit more softness into this hip crease. As we continue to move up the chain and you go into the other pain-free movement courses, we're going to talk about the shoulders and neck, so this is an important part of the posture. So after we got the feet set, the hips back, we're just going to think of gently inhaling and rolling the shoulders down and back. Now, I don't want to crank back into this opposing pattern because, again, a lot of us are stuck forward in this front world. So we're just going to think of gently rolling the shoulders back. I'm not going to create more tension by pulling into that back space too hard, just gently keeping back. And lastly is that neck. We're going to pull the chin back so that cervical spine is nice and long. Again, this standing posture is going to help you, in this case, in the program we're going into right now, the low back, but with the other courses as well, whether you're suffering from some lower half pain in the ankles, the knees, even to the front of the hips, the neck, and the shoulders. Bringing awareness to a better daily posture is going to transfer into the rest of your life. So this is a more supportive way that we can stand throughout the day.